How can you expect a child, a student, to fully learn if they're worried about their safety?
Real teens speaking out.
Just bullied at school.
About bullying happening in Kern County.
It's becoming like really epidemic among young people in this country.
On January 16th, Rosedale Middle School student Sarah Ullman took her own life by overdosing on pills after family and friends say she was being bullied by her classmates. Ullman's family says she was bullied in person and online.
I can't even imagine having to deal with all of that in high school. Like, it's like you're constantly being watched and you're a fish, in a tank.
The Kern County Sheriff's Department says no charges will be filed in the case against the alleged bullies.
I mean, if there was an investigation that could show a direct link and that the student who was doing the bullying was deliberately trying to harm that other student or even drive them to an act of self-harm, if you could actually show that, then that very potentially could lead to a criminal prosecution.
Through laws and policies, each state addresses bullying differently. Most of these laws are established through education codes.
We were able to show that there was a direct link between the bullying and the child's death. Could bring a civil lawsuit, a wrongful death suit to get civil restitution for what happened.
According to StopBullying.gov, in some cases, bullying could appear in a criminal code of a state that may apply to juveniles. The Kern County District Attorney Office says bullying or cyberbullying normally isn't treated as a violation of the penal code, and the responsibility falls on the school systems. Ken Russell, supervising district attorney, says Kern County rarely sees bullying cases in his office unless it turns violent.
I think the legislative response to that is because the educational system couldn't address the bullying properly. It's not a criminal matter in most of the country. It's not. It's certainly not in California. It's been expressly left up to the education system to address the bullying in schools.
Another case in September of 2010. 13-year-old Seth Wash hung himself after being taunted, harassed, and bullied at a Tehachapi school for being gay. His mother, Wendy, says teachers looked the other way and failed to protect her son. Seth's family filed a civil lawsuit with Rodriguez and Associates. They settled with the Tehachapi Unified School District for $750,000. His story spearheaded Seth's Law, the only law in California that addresses bullying.
Seth's Law became effective in July 1st, 2012, and I think that a lot of school districts do a pretty good job. I think they do a good job in protecting kids, and that they follow their policies. I will say, though, that every now and then you come across school districts who, for whatever reason, they have this policy, right? It's the law, but they just choose to look the other way.
AB 9 Seth Law requires public school districts inside the state of California to modernize their anti-bullying policies and programs put in place to protect what officials say is the special population, the students who are bullied based on their sexual orientation, gender identity, or race, ethnicity, and religion. This law requires that school personnel intervene when they see bullying. If not, they could face legal action.
You have the law, but it's only as good as you follow it, you execute it, right? And when I say you, I'm referring to the people who are in charge. And for instance, like at school districts, it's only as good as the way that the superintendent or the principal or whoever tells their staff, hey, this is the rule. And so if you see this behavior happening, you need to put a stop to it.